Well, hello. I'm Meteorologist Kit Thomas. We're live in the studios here at ABC 24 just after 7 o'clock this evening. We're working on a bit of a severe weather situation as we head into next week. There's a chance for storms to roll in as we go over the next couple of days. We're going to start to see things become a little more active. So Sunday evening is the timing that we're looking at right now. We're live on our apps and on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on Facebook, of course, you can comment down below, let us know where you're watching from, let us know if you have any questions as well. I'll remind you a couple of times through here, but right now we're taking a look from Midtown. This is the Southern College of Optometry camera that we've got from Midtown looking to downtown. Just a beautiful, beautiful evening out there. Of course, we got up to around 82 this afternoon here in Memphis, so it was a wonderfully warm afternoon today. And the next couple of days are going to stay warm, maybe not quite to 82, but still warm over the next few days here. So that's some good news. Right now, just a few temperatures around the area, 77 in Memphis, 77 in Selmer as well, Oxford at 75. Just beautiful, clear blue skies out there for most of the day. We started to see a few clouds drifting in over the last couple of hours here. Right now, it's looking to be cooling down across much of the area. But here's what we need to keep in mind over the next couple of days. Of course, today's been warm and sunny. Tomorrow is going to be a little more cloudy, and we're going to start to see the rain returning by Saturday. And then Sunday is the severe thunderstorm. So we've got a couple rounds of rain. It's not all going to be severe, but at least that first round hopefully can wash away some of the pollen that we've gotten just all week. It's been dumping out of the trees. I know on my street, it's just covered with this thin layer of yellow. My car is ugly yellow. My porch furniture is all ugly yellow, but hopefully we can wash that out as we get this rain coming through this weekend. Looking right now at satellite, we've got a few of those clouds that have drifted in from the south. You can see off towards Texas, there's a ton of moisture that's just getting pumped into the atmosphere right now. Some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico is bringing that in as well. This is going to be what's our first lead-in of moisture as we head over the next couple of days. So looking forward here, Friday's going to be mostly cloudy through pretty much all of the day, but we're not going to see as much rainfall. So that's some good news for us. We're not seeing quite as much rain on Friday, but the rain will be coming in as we get into our weekend time frame. So if you're just joining us on Facebook or on our app, of course, we're talking about the chance for some thunderstorms on Sunday, but looking forward through Friday, it's a pretty clear Friday for rain. We'll have the clouds, then we'll start to bring the rain chances in on Saturday here. So taking a look at that, around 5 a.m. here, we've got the heavier rainfall across eastern Arkansas. Then it moves into western Tennessee, northern Mississippi by around midday. So we've got this next wave of moisture that makes its way in. So it looks like we could have a couple rounds, maybe a few breaks in between some rain showers, but that sort of lasts through most of the afternoon. I'll pause it there at around 3 o'clock. This shows maybe some heavier rainfall, maybe some thunderstorms. You can see just right in there off towards the eastern part of our viewing area, but then it starts to clear out. So that's some good news. Right around this time, 7 o'clock Saturday, I think Memphis will be clearing out. We'll start to see more sunshine in the late evening, more clear skies off towards Arkansas, and the rain is starting to move off towards our east. Then we'll start to see things get a little more interesting on Sunday. So we'll back it up to around 5 a.m. here. Still clouds lingering. We might have some early morning showers, which could play a factor. We'll talk about that in a moment. But notice there Sunday, 9 a.m. all the way through noon, we've got some breaks in those clouds scattered around the area. Anytime we have the sunshine ahead of a severe weather threat, that's going to help to destabilize the atmosphere. It brings in more heat. Of course, more heat is more energy for those thunderstorms, and that leads to more severe threats in there as well. We have to go a little bit farther out to the more long-range models to see the actual events. The high-resolution models are still just a little bit out of range to see it. But as we get here around Sunday, 9 p.m., we see that we've got some of those storms already starting on this model here. So around the St. Louis area, anytime on these long-range models, they're very coarse grain forecasts. So they go on a very large scale. They don't quite get down to the size of an individual thunderstorm. They do it more on a county size. And so anytime we're seeing these brighter bands of the yellows into the oranges, that's an indication that we've got some thunderstorm activity possible. And you see there around 11 o'clock on Sunday, we've got another round of some thunderstorms just starting to roll through. So it looks like this model brings it to us 11 p.m. through 4 a.m. maybe. So that'll be a pretty late night event. The one thing I want to bring as a caveat to this discussion is the fact that since it is so late, that's going to change how the setup is. If we see it in the afternoon, usually afternoon storms are going to be much more significant, much more severe. Whenever you get more late night, overnight stuff, it's more of a line of storms. You get more straight line winds. You can sometimes have some curled up kinks in the band that lead to a tornado, but you don't get quite as many discrete supercells. If we have this delayed by the front not getting here and some of the early morning rain showers, that could eat into some of the energy. That could reduce the severity of some of those thunderstorms. But talking about the winds with this system are very strong. So the shear is going to be a very present factor with this. As we get into Sunday, we've got that upper low that's bringing the jet stream through. That's going to bring in winds. At the surface, they're going to be out of the south, but up above, they're coming more out of the southwest. So when you have those crossing winds there, that's what causes the rolling and the eventual tilting of that into a rotating thunderstorm that leads to a tornado. That's what the setup is. The thing is, if we don't get a thunderstorm to form in that environment, then we don't see a thunderstorm and we don't see a severe thunderstorm. So it's all dependent on everything lining up at the right time for these storms to come together. It's looking like, from the Storm Prediction Center at least, that this is going to be sort of focused here around the Mid-South. We've added this area of ourselves, the higher risk there in that sort of slash area. That's our judgment, not from the Storm Prediction Center, but our judgment is looking like it's going to be across most of Arkansas, through the Mid-South, maybe up to the lower Ohio Valley. That's where we're thinking the higher potential is for all of those factors: the moisture, the instability, the upper level support, the shear. All three of those factors look to be concentrated here in our area. Again, like we had a couple weeks ago, we had all of those ingredients were present, but nothing ever started. Plus, there was some inhibition up above it. The last time we had this, there was something that was preventing the storms from going all the way up and tapping into all of the energy, and that may also happen. Remember how I said those 9 a.m. showers and some of that midday cloud cover will play a factor in later? That could prevent us from seeing any rainfall or any severe thunderstorms. The early rainfall actually warms the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And whenever you do that, you can't lift the warm air through warm air. It has to be warm through cold. So there's some uncertainty with that, but again, it's still going to be a pretty intense setup here. Looking Sunday morning, it looks like there could be some pretty intense thunderstorms out across the Central Plains. So there's a lot of energy the storms can tap into early on, and that's going to provoke the line of storms to be going through. The cold front will be pushing along. Out ahead of that, if they're outside of the line of storms, if you have some individual storms, those could be more of a tornadic threat. The line will be more of a straight line wind threat. Looking Sunday evening, we still have plenty of that energy around the Mid-South, and that'll continue through the overnight. So here's what it's looking like as we push this through. Of course, that cold front eventually making its way into our neck of the woods late Sunday afternoon. That first wave of rain Saturday is before the front. That's technically the warm front coming in, and then the cold front comes through, and that helps to give it a punch, get the storms going a little quicker, and that'll be cleared by Monday. Monday's actually going to be much cooler. But here's the good thing. We've got all that pollen we've been talking about, right? All the pollen triggering our allergies. It's just everywhere, a yucky mess. But the good thing, the rain is actually going to clear out a bunch of that pollen. The rain is actually going to form on the pollen in the sky, so that's going to help us out quite a bit. That'll be nice. But then we've got a couple more rounds of rain into next week as well. So a couple rounds of rain. It's going to give us around 1.5 inches to 2 inches. If you look up towards the top here, the legend, that purple color there is around 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall, maybe up to 2.5 inches off towards the north there, up north of Jonesboro, maybe outside of Tupelo. This tends to jump around a little bit day by day. But in the meantime, tonight, dropping down to the low 60s, 80s tomorrow with all those clouds. Here's your 7-day. Of course, tomorrow's going to be cloudy. Saturday, we're looking at that chance for rainfall to come through, and that's going to help to clear out some of the pollen. That'll just be sort of the primer storm system. Not really looking at much chance for severe storms. I think we might have a rumble of thunder or two, but it's not going to be anything severe. Sunday night really is where we're looking at a chance for afternoon, evening thunderstorms, evening through the overnight. Look at that temperature drop though, from 82 on Sunday all the way down to 65 for our high there on Monday. So it is going to be much warmer there. So that'll be or much cooler there as we drop down over the next couple of days. So that's going to be a nice change. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we start getting back warm again. So that pretty much wraps up all the details that I have to share. Of course, this is the main area of severe concern that we've got is all the way from Houston and Dallas, all the way up past St. Louis, Indianapolis, almost to Cincinnati, where we could, or even Cleveland even there. So pretty widespread severe threat. We've been tracking this the last several days. Tomorrow, Trevor Burchett will be in the morning. I'm actually going to have the evening off tomorrow so that I can come in and help cover on Sunday. But we'll have more details, of course, right here on ABC 24. So be sure that you're watching us here. If you're watching us on your phone, make sure you've got our digital apps on your TV as well, your Roku app, or your you can download the ABC 24 Plus app there. Of course, you can watch us on air, 24 and channel 30 as well, the CW. We'll have more details online as well. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for watching.